Make yourself free and comfortable. Loosen your clothes, move around, stretch.
Hello, welcome. It's the Guardian Radio Hour. Mr. Stewart Lee, hello.
Hi, thanks for this is the coolest room that I've ever been in my life. This Dalston hipster radio studio.
You've got your hipster hat on.
I know, I brought it on. I know what the gear is.
Brilliant.
What the dress code is.
Well, thank you for dressing, appropriately. So you're going to be joining the dots between, it's probably fair to say, your two biggest loves, stand-up and punk. Very quickly for the listeners and people that perhaps don't know what the alternative comedy scene was like in the 1980s. Can you just quickly define what was going on?
Well, there was a perception that that comedy was controlled by a sort of Oxbridge elite writing clever satire, or a sort of mainstreamy stand-up scene doing old gags, most of which were sexist, racist, and homophobic. And that's not an unkind assessment of the situation. Weirdly, it's almost where we are again now. And a Marxist would tell you that means it's time for a Marxist theory would tell you it's time for a revolution again. You kind of forget, if you're my age, that the power of social media, that you sometimes have to be careful, because good and bad things can happen very quickly without you having any control over it.
Especially because you're not on social media. Oh, whoa.
No. I mean, that is an indication of the power of people like Foster's as well, that either you start talking about them on the internet and your actual, by some mysterious power they have, a speaker will fall down. It also shows the listeners how dangerous radio can be.
What's your sort of guilty pot pleasure?
What's
your floor filler? What would get you on the dance floor?
What would get me on the dance floor? I don't know, probably early 80s electronica, Human League, things like that, maybe. Stuff that I remember dancing at school discos to. And any ska stuff, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from, late 70s, early 80s, the Beats, things like that.
Okay.
I would still go and see when they had this version of them come around. I always go and see them.
Well, Charlotte's taking notes, I'm sure.
No, I think she might be doing a lot of Bowie covers. I'm not sure exactly what she's doing. I'm looking forward to it.
But it's all going ahead. It's
I've got it.
100% safe.
Yeah. Look, I can show you the text.
Okay, show me the text.
I'll show you
and
afterwards.
we'll just let everyone know that ATP is safe.
Happening.
Can you sort of see the link between comedy and punk or post-punk?
Well, I think the post-punk era, everything was, lots of different styles of things were jumbled up. There was a degree of social mobility as well, which you have to remember, which is like, and when you were talking earlier and someone's texted in about how do you make a living as an artist, it wasn't a consideration. So you could do a really weird act and probably get by, And so I suppose there's something very, and also there'd been a boom in education, hadn't there? Post-war, everyone was able to go to Polytechnic and learn how to do things, and or be at drama school for 5 years on a grant. So it did come out of that period, in the same way as punk came out of a squat culture, and people were able to do these uncommercial groups because they didn't have to think about the everyday necessities of life, I suppose.
Well, it's been a really super interesting show, and thanks for coming down. I'm sorry that we almost killed you.
It's all right. I was feet away from that. Good to go out.
So we're ending on the Swinging Cats Away.
Yeah.
Think about the lion as him rest up on the sand. Me think about the help that me have from white man, and me want to crying because me listen to the lion. Me know when we talk that me weak brethren. Me know that me mix up with real good.